Everyone think that money is a real currency. But here's the truth, okay? Money is essentially infinite. People print that shit out of the air. And some might say, oh, if we run out of trees, we might not have to print money anymore. Guess what? They'll still be to make money on some sort of other material, some other way. And now, the thing that's freaking digital, that's on your bank account, those things aren't even associated with money anymore. They can just change their bank balance to be a million, 10 million, whatever they can fabricate it to be. And that's money. I know that this is not how capitalism works. Not how the economy work. But my point being, money is infinite and time isn't. And time is a real currency that all of us has in a finite amount in all of our life. You can always make more money no matter what. Say you lose 10, 20 grand today. Fine. You can build it back tomorrow. You can go back and make it back tomorrow. But you can't make more time. So if you waste an hour today, that hour is gone forever. Completely gone. Every second that you spent chasing the wrong client, begging on the cold call, stressing over having empty calendars, or stressing over, oh, I need to do this, oh, I should do this. That second is gone forever. That's why the rich or the wealthy don't obsess over money. They obsess over having leverage. They buy leverage so that the only thing that they do matter more. In turn, they have more time. Have you ever seen anyone that's like having millions or billions trying to find ways to make more money? I doubt it. There isn't anyone. If there is a formula in this world where they can actually use their money to buy more time, I bet that's gonna be one of the most biggest industry in the whole world. You can make the most money in the whole world if you can sell time. But no one can. No one can say I'll sell more time. So that's why instead people leverage. They spend things to make more time. This is the difference between the rich and the poor. The poor ask, how do I make more money? How do I save more money? How? How? But the wealthy, they ask, how do I buy back more time? How do I efficiently use my time? That's the difference between the rich and the poor. That changes everything in their day to day. So imagine this, okay? If you were a wealthy person, you would just spend every waking moment either doing something you really love or spending the time with your family and just enjoying the world, essentially. That's what most of their money will go into. Not, oh, I can dump 20, 30 million dollar back into my business and dump 45, 40 or 60 hours of my time back into my business. The end goal is never that. The end goal is never to make more money. The end goal is freedom. So you can earn the time for yourself to really enjoy life. So, the question being, how do you exactly shift your mindset or shift your whole day-to-day life to be more like the wealthy. Okay? So, if you're starting on this journey and you don't have money, it's obvious that you're not gonna say, "Oh, how do I buy back my time?" Because you don't have money to buy back your time. But there are principles that the rich use when they're working so that it generate them the most income while not spending as much time. And that's what you should aim to be. I know now you have a lot of time when you start, like when you're 20, 30. Those, you're still young. You're still really young. The only thing you have is time. And people make a habit of spending that too frugal. And they kept that habit no matter what status they're in. That's why you see people still grinding and grinding in their office every single day for 9 hours a day, even after they made it. So here's essentially what you should consider, or this is what the rich do to essentially still stay rich or try to buy back more time. Um, is that do the most efficient task first. The most efficient task you can think of first. Efficiency is the key here. So when I start my business, I've always just tried to do more and more. I always think, oh, how do I put in more hours? How do I put in more hours? How do I send more cold call? How do I do all this manually when I have time? But now when I think about it, that is not the most efficient task I can think of now. And that comes with experience as you go on. But one thing I can tell you is that instead of trying to send out more menu outreach, you can leverage something that is higher efficiency. For example, for me right now, it is learning a new skill. Because once I learn one new skill, I can market that skill, and that will yield me 20, 30x into the future. That is the most efficiently spent time for me right now. But when I was in my business phase, when I was actively running my business, the most important aspect of efficiency was building automation, was to create something that will do everything for me automatically. That is why it's how I switched from, oh, how do I go and send more menu message to how do I get my bot to send more menu message that is essentially the same as what I'm doing. Okay? And I spent that time, and that might take more, so you might do an hour or two of just sending manual message, then you just go slack off. But if you were to go and build a system, that may take 2 or 3 days to really complete the task. It's all worth it in the end, because once you have a system running, everything's completely different. And you can just lay back, and in those 4 or 5 hours that you were to had free, or if you were to go and do menu message, your boss already doing that for you. And you can start working on different project, like creating a different automation or learning a new skill and stuff like that. That is the most efficient way to spend your time. And I'm sure as you climb up this ladder, people will start to find more efficient way. This is the most efficient I can think of in my stage of business, in my stage of life, essentially. So there it is. So, and when I was in the stage where I was looking for business seller, helping business broker, this is the most efficient thing I've did. I've created an SMS system, and that has yielded me more client than ever. Like the going rate was one listing every single month. One listing every single month for all broker. And the average deal size are $1 million and above. That's because I built a system that work. And if you are a business broker that want to buy back more time and do things the most efficient way that you can, try getting an automation or checking out my auto seller course below, and it hands you a system that I've built. I spent time building that book you automatically 5 to 10 seller appointment every single month, so you can stop trading your time chasing for leads. Okay, but check that out. But that later.